everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Giorgi Khazaradze. And today I got a special guest. We actually linked up while at the Miami Crypto Experience, which we had a really good time. I got to learn about what he's doing at Aurox. We have the CEO and founder. We have Giorgi. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, despite everything that's going on with the market. I think we're doing good. Aurox is growing, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
For sure. And for everyone listening right now, this is actually happening post-conference, and quite a lot has happened in the market, which we will get into later in this discussion. But first, I just want to learn more about you. Can you give us some background on yourself?
Yeah, so we got into cryptocurrency in about 2016, 2017. One of the items that, our background is in marketing and software sales. We have some other software that we manage, and we kind of used our background in order to develop Aurox. We thought that there was a need for an aggregated terminal, a dedicated terminal for traders, not just traders, but people that just kind of want to track the price and everything. It's something that's a little more significant than just CoinMarketCap. So we created Aurox back then, and we started developing back then. And since then, we had been developing for the past, it's been 3 years. Before that, we finally released it publicly. That's we've seen a significant growth starting in 2020. We started signing up hundreds of users, and we've grown a lot, and we're still kind of growing now as well.
Which is definitely exciting. And so to the newbie out there that's like trying to understand a little bit more. So one of the places that I'll recommend people to go to learn about all the different cryptos that are going out there. One of your competitors that you said is a CoinMarketCap. So can you kind of explain what Aurox is and how it works?
Yeah, so CoinMarketCap, honestly, and CoinGecko and all those websites are more specific to, I guess, the entire general cryptocurrency audience, because you can just pull up and see all the price feeds. Whereas Aurox is more dedicated to traders, to people that want a closer eye on the market. They want to chart, they want to do TA, they want to link up their API keys and trade through Aurox. We support 60 plus exchanges. We have our custom set of indicators. It's more of a merge between CoinMarketCap and Binance. So you have that dedicated terminal that Binance has, but also you have the data from literally every single exchange as well.
Yeah, which is very powerful and very needed, especially as things tick up in both the bull market and a potential bear market. And with everything going on, I'm sure there's been a ton of interest in trying to understand where support is in the market. And so for everyone listening right now, timestamp of what's going on. So the crypto markets, I think Bitcoin just dropped down to right around 33,000. Ethereum's dropped down to around 1900 rather. And you're seeing, people's kind of scrambling to understand where support is and where things are headed. So why is something like Aurox positioned to help give investors a better sentiment of where things are and where things are headed?
Yeah, so honestly, even in this bear market, we're seeing insane volumes. So through the API ordering, we actually saw, so we don't track the ordering, but Binance does. They actually notify us, how many users are trading through our platform. And we did $5 million in volume during that crash for that one day through Binance futures alone, let alone Binance Spot and everything else. So even during these crashes, there's a lot of people trading through our platform because our platform gives them the ability to kind of foresee these crashes, or even, in a bear market, even sideways movements. We have our proprietary indicators that basically tell you where to buy and sell. And I think that's what's causing, like you said, people are trying to rush to, their influencers and Twitter and places like that in order to figure out where the market is going. And that's where Aurox kind of steps in and it lets you know, hey, you should be selling here, or you should be buying this dip because of the proprietary indicators that we have. And because of that, we have seen, we've honestly, the amount of traffic that we have seen in the past couple of days is more than we saw during the whole, run up to the 65,000 or whatever it went to. It was almost an immediate increase in traffic because people were trying to figure out, should I be selling now or should I be waiting around for the next run-up?
Right. And you bring up a very interesting point in the sense of sometimes people look for guidance in a lot of ways. And yes, there's always technical analysis that you can do, but even with technical analysis, you always try to find like another way to get a piece of verification that maybe what you're deciding to move forward with are whether you are deciding to buy, whether you're deciding to sell, or just wait to have those other indicators. So how has Aurox been able to like create that within its platform to like give some of those like signals and pieces for people to go and act on?
Yeah. So honestly, the indicator, one of the indicators that we have, the proprietary indicator that tells you where to buy and sell, that was something that we were using in house and since like 2016, and it was not part of our platform because we didn't want to give it. Initially, it was not part of our platform because we didn't want to give it away for free.
Yeah.
But eventually, we thought it was an attractive enough offer to get people onto the terminal, get them hooked. So we made it free, and it's using right now. It's using very simple. Indicators and simple algorithm to detect that price move. Something that someone that's doing TA could potentially do it on their own, but we take input from multiple different angles for this indicator to work, and it does that for them. So if you're a beginner trader or you're an intermediate, or even if you're an advanced trader and you know how to do TA, you have an extra little help that tells you just pulling up on the screen. It just tells you exactly what to do. If you don't know TA, it's very helpful because you can just look at a chart and you see a green arrow. Oh, cool. I know I need to buy here. If you're advanced trading and you're doing TA and you're kind of iffy, like, okay, maybe it's going up or down, and you see that green arrow come up, then that's your extra confirmation. Like, okay, then I should be entering the market. So even though it's in general, it can be said the algorithm itself is basic in a way compared to like AI training systems, but at the same time, it has been very significant to our user base.
Right. And I think it's good to have some tools that can help you have some more educated decisions on why or why not you're deciding to move forward with something. But on that, one of the things that you were kind of describing was for whether you're a newbie, intermediate, or advanced trader. How is the process of signing up and setting this up? Like, how does this work, right? So if I wanted to sign up right now and was going to use Aurox, like how does that work?
Yeah, you just go to our website, get aurox.com, and you basically click sign up and you're ready to go. There's no KYC. There's nothing. We basically plug to, like, you can use your email address to sign up, or you can use your Google account or Facebook account to log right in. We don't, you can use a fake Facebook account if you want. We don't really check any of that. Everyone's kind of, it's not fully decentralized like on Uniswap. You just link your wallet, but at the same time, it's completely free for everyone. You can sign up however you want and start using it. And as soon as you're on the chart, you just go to indicator, select that Aurox indicator, and you're ready to go. It basically takes 30 seconds of your time.
Yeah, no, which sounds unique. Which I'm make sure you go check that out. I'm gonna go check that out myself. And what is good? So for again, this one specifically for the newbie out there. We keep talking about technical analysis, TAs, and everything else like that. What can you give like a brief description? Like, what is it and why is it important as people are trying to understand what is going on currently in the market?
Yeah, the issue with newbie traders is they get very fearful and bullish and euphoric at times. So if you're in a bear market, they get very fearful and they start selling when they shouldn't be. And that's what causes this mass sell-offs, especially when new users that come into cryptocurrency, they just simply go to Coinbase, link up their wallet, and then they just buy. And then they see a dip, a couple percentage, and then they're like, oh, I need to sell immediately or I'm going to lose my money. So it kind of helps them prevent that massive sell-off and losing their money. We just, spoke with our user just a minute ago, where we told them, it's if you're losing money right now, if you're still in the market and you're down, it's really not optimum to sell. The market always is going to come back. If you don't need that money, then you shouldn't be selling. And I think that's where Aurox, and not just the terminal itself, but some of the information that we give to our users helps them get comfortable and less fearful. Because losing money, no one wants to lose money. As soon as you start losing money, you get scared that it's just going to go to zero. But we try to take that edge away from them and take that stress away, just listen to our terminal, listen to us, and just be a little more careful about where you're selling, and even when you're buying as well. So those new traders that are coming into our platform, they have a lot of questions. We're always in our Telegram and Discord, and we try to guide them along the way and get them to that intermediate or advanced stage where you have, people that are, the advanced traders right now are having a field day with this, the volatile market, because they know how to take advantage of it. The new users
Right.
don't. Even when there's blood in the streets, that's when a lot of people make a lot of money. So getting those new users to be safe and cautious and not make those very quick, uneducated guesses, I guess. Yeah. So as far as beginners are concerned, they're making uneducated guesses at times in order to enter and exit the market, and Aurox kind of steps in and allows them to make more educated decisions. And our entire goal with Aurox has been to educate the beginners and transition them into that advanced stage, so they don't lose money. A lot of people right now that entered into the market at 50,000 are thinking like, I sell now, and this is the worst time to sell. You're already down, and selling from being down 40%, unless you actually need the money. Like if you need the money to pay your bills, yeah, I understand. But if it's an investment, and I think one of the things is when you're playing with crypto, it's always going to be an investment. You should only be looking at it as an investment. And those users should not be liquidating their investments when they're already down. And Aurox and our team tries to make it as easy as possible for those new users to understand. You shouldn't be taking those quick and uneducated decisions in markets like this.
Right. And you bring up a lot of really great points that we at Cryptocurrent try to relay to new investors entering the spaces. You have to understand your time horizons, right? So whether you are trying to day trade, which unless you are advanced, I don't recommend, even if you're trying to do it on a weekly or monthly basis, you have to think about time horizons of how quickly do you need this money back? If it's, oh, I don't plan on touching this for a couple of years, great. It doesn't matter what happens on a day-to-day because you're playing the long game. Most of the time, you're most likely going to win. But if you are trying to get in and out of the market very quickly, you got to remember there are advanced traders that do this for a living. And when there's blood in the streets, when there's prices going down, there's a ton of money that's made by them because they've been here a ton of times, have seen what has happened, know when to get in and out. And if you're new, you don't. And like you might think you do, and you get wrecked, you lose some money, and then like you're like, oh my gosh, this thing's a scam, all this other kind of stuff. And it's just, you just don't have enough experience in it, right? But a helpful tool like what you have going on at Aurox, man, it sounds very helpful, and it's going to help a lot of people not in crypto talk get wrecked, and understand how they can keep their money, keep making more money, and progress in the future. And something I want to like kind of spend some time on is that you make educational content, and I know that y'all do some stuff over there. Can you kind of talk to that a little bit?
Yeah. So like I said, we try to take the beginners and move them up throughout the process. So the beginners that come on the platform, the first like few emails that they get, the first few courses they go through is, trading on the daily or the weekly interval. Because if you're trading on the daily and weekly, the chances of you getting wrecked are very, very low. It's our indicators like 70 to 80% accurate on the daily interval. So for example, right before the crash, we actually did trigger a red arrow. It was like a couple of days before So before the crash happened, we actually triggered a sell on the daily chart, and that's what we recommend our new users to trade on. If you got out at that time, you were in good shape. So we start off with that for new traders. Focus on the daily, focus on the weekly, because it's a more long-term situation. You don't have to monitor the market constantly. It's a more of a long-term investment. But then we take them through the process of getting them into the lower intervals and telling them, this is how you use the indicators. This is how you trade on the lower intervals. Paper trade first, make sure that you get the hang of it. And then as you move through the steps, you get more and more comfortable actually day trading, and hopefully making this, your business. You become a more professional trader. And that's been our process, is taking them through. So when there is blood on the streets, they recognize that, and those are the opportune times for them to make money. Right. Because the volume that's going on right now, there's a lot of people making a lot of money from scalping, from arbitrage, from hedging. There's just so much money being made. I think more money being made now than before, but all that money is being made by advanced traders rather than the new traders. And the advanced traders make money in both cases. So getting those beginner traders through that funnel, getting them into that advanced phase is beneficial, because they're not going to be the ones that's just going to leave as soon as the market crashes. They're going to stick around. They're going to keep using the platform, and they're going to take advantage of whatever kind of market it is.
For sure. And I think you brought up an amazing point that regardless of the market going up or down, it's always an opportunity to make money depending on the type of trader you are and the type of things that you're doing. You just have to have the right tools in your toolbox, and the knowledge and indicators, if you will, to help drive those decisions. And Aurox sounds like a great way to be able to do that. So thanks for sharing that. Everyone listening, make sure you go check it out. There's a lot of great ways that you can go do it. But I kind of want to just shift the conversation just for a couple things. One, I just want to bring it back to the Miami crypto experience just for a second. Can you just talk for a second, like how did it feel to be just back in person and meeting people and talking with both newer people and advanced people, and just being in the space?
Yeah, no, it was definitely interesting. It was a wake-up call for us as far as Aurox goes, because we had never been to a conference. We were developing throughout the bear market, and those conferences basically disappeared. There was still some going on here and there, but it wasn't as during the bull market. There was a conference like every other weekend or something. But we were developing through the bear market, and this was the first conference that we had sponsored and we had been to. So speaking with people face to face, especially new users, like when a new user comes on our platform and they use our platform and they leave, we have absolutely no clue why they left. We don't know, was the platform broken? Was it just a random person that was just checking it out? Was there something missing? So when people were coming up to our booth and speaking to us, we kind of got better feedback about what they were looking for in cryptocurrency. And to tell you the truth, a lot of the people that are in crypto are those beginner users. They want that. They're looking for education. They're really just, I don't look at charts. I look at, Twitter or something. They're just kind of, and honestly, they're kind of lost. They're looking for someone to take their hand and then show them what's going on. And that's one of the things that we've with Aurox is some of the items that can be complex. So now having that feedback of what most of the users that are landing on our platform, what they want, we can adjust our marketing angle, we can adjust education, and we can adjust the content in order to get those users to stay on the platform, and not just to stay on the platform, to hold their hand, being one of the holding their hand all throughout the process. And it was very interesting speaking to so many people there. It's a lot of the people just aren't aware of the depth of cryptocurrency. Talking about DeFi, although it's huge, everyone's talking about it. Most of the people that were at that conference, the DeFi aspect was just kind of going over their head. They've heard of the word, right. They've seen it work, but they just don't know what it is. So I think the one thing that's really not missing, but one thing that's needed in this field is the education aspect to get more and more people educated about what they're investing in, how they're investing, and why they're investing.
Absolutely. And just having a way that there's a lot of great people like yourself who are making incredible platforms that are meant to help these newbies. But if you don't necessarily know how to communicate it in such a way that it resonates with them and then they can use it and go act quickly, I mean, as you know, people's intentions are like that. But if you are able to take a complex solution, make it very simple, and then have it be simply applied, you're cooking with something. It was amazing to be able to go there, get real time feedback, understand those things, and then immediately go and implement it. So I love that aspect of it. The same with just communicating to people and seeing like, what do people care about? What are people asking questions about? What are some things that we could be spending more time making sure that we're hammering down, so that as these new people keep coming in, that we can be the launch pad for them to keep their education continuing. And so I definitely appreciate you sharing that. And it's just a reminder for everyone listening, especially if you have your own crypto startup or just entrepreneur in general, how important it is to constantly get customer feedback and to understand what's going on and how you can keep improving it. And on that sentiment, man, like, you've been in the crypto space since, I believe you said 2016, 5 years in the game. You've learned a ton, and even as you've been building out Aurox, I'm sure there's a lot of lessons that you've learned. If you could take 2 to 3 lessons that you've learned generally in crypto or just through your entrepreneurial experience and impart that wisdom to yourself when you first started, what would you say?
It goes back to, not selling, honestly, being invested in it, looking at cryptocurrency as an investment. You should not be looking at, yes, there's money to be made on the lower intervals, but if you're a beginner trader, even if you're an advanced trader, it's really just about thinking of it as an investment and waiting until it's opportune time to potentially sell if you wanted to get out of it. To give you an example, I like to use this example a lot because it kind of highlights how cryptocurrency works. Back in 2018 crash, I got locked out of my Bittrex account. It was my phone reset. I actually got a new phone, and I didn't realize that the Google Authenticator doesn't back up your keys. Ooh. And I was a noob back then using a Google Authenticator. So I didn't know about that, and I got a new phone, and all of a sudden I got locked out of my Bittrex account, and they wanted like ID verification, picture, blah, blah, blah. And it was like $5,000 in there because like everything had like dipped like 90% or something ridiculous. It's like, that's not even worth my time. I need to focus on development. Eventually I'll get to it. And, years went by, and just recently I think it was a couple months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, I was like, I want to get back into my Bittrex account to see what's going on. I had moved over to Binance, but I just wanted to see, what was in there. So I finally, filled out all the paperwork, submitted all the pictures and everything. I got back into it, and my portfolio was at like $70,000. Yeah, and this was like right as the bull market was taking, like, I think Ethereum was around $2,000. So it wasn't even like, that it's all time high yet.
Right.
That's kind of gives you an idea of what the long-term play holds.
Just a 14x in 2 years.
Yeah,
is that bad?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's really, I think so I think the one thing that every trader, whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, one thing that you can learn from my example and from other examples out there, there's people that have lost their like keys for years and they recover them, and they have millions of dollars in there. I think one of the things is looking at a project that you believe in, whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, even if it's Doge, whatever it is. If you believe in the project and you see the timeline in the future where it's going to change lives, where, like, for example, I'm a huge Ethereum fan because I think Ethereum has done something that Bitcoin wants to do. Bitcoin wanted to decentralize everything. Ethereum, or decentralize at least payment systems. Ethereum, I think, is decentralized the entire ordering and software and everything. And I believe highly of Ethereum. So for me, Ethereum is a very long-term play. And although I will still trade on the daily or even the weekly or even the hourly intervals, my long-term play is being in Ethereum because I think over time it's gonna be worth a lot. So this dip, it dropped 50%, but I don't care. I'm in it for the long run. So if you're, one of the key things that if you're a new investor to take into account is if you have money to invest in a project that you believe in, and just let it sit there. Even if you are not a daily trader, even if you don't use Aurox and you're not a daily trader, you just want to invest in something, find a project that you believe in and just put your money in there and just wait. Keep up with their news, keep in touch with their community. It's very important in crypto. Just, invest in a project you believe in and just go with it.
Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that. That's actually a point that I relay very frequently, especially for everyone that joins us on our weekly Clubhouse sessions. Play the long game. And you play the long game, you win most times in crypto, regardless of the project. If you think about if you were an angel investor and you're investing in, your portfolio of things, right? Even think about like a venture capital. You go and invest in 10 companies with a certain amount of money. And with the idea that probably 7 of them are going to fail, another 2 might break even, and then 1 is going to be your home run hitter. Yeah, man, I think you bring up a lot of really good, interesting points. And the biggest thing is play the long game. You play the long game, you win. We say a lot here at Cryptocurrent, and I'm going to encourage people to continue to do that. But, as we wrap up here, I always like to ask a final question is if you have a final thought that you would like to leave with all of our listeners today, what would that be?
Honestly, right now, everyone's fearful. So I highly suggest, again, going back to what we've been discussing, highly suggest just if you're down on whatever investment that you made, it's really not the time to sell unless you need the money. Right now is the time where you potentially double down if you have more money. That's what we've been doing, buying up these dips as much as we can. Even if it goes down to $20,000, $30,000 on Bitcoin, who cares? In a couple of years, they'll be back up. There's institutional money flowing in. These dips are being bought up like crazy. Ethereum's flowing out of, even in a bear market, even now, if we consider this a bear market, Ethereum's flowing out of exchanges like crazy. So if you have money, I suggest, buying up those dips and holding onto them, because that's what we're doing. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now. So that's tying it into back basically what we've been speaking about and where the market is now. I think that's very important.
For sure. Well, definitely appreciate that final thought. Everyone, make sure that you keep learning more, and especially go check out Aurox so it can help you get your bases as you see with everything that's going on. What are some ways that people can connect with you and also learn more about everything going on at Aurox?
Yeah, so we're on Telegram and Discord. All that information's on our website. I'm also available through our email, support@getaurox.com. So definitely check us out. And I answer questions all day long in our Telegram to make sure that our user base is again, feeling safe about their investments, feeling safe about using the platform and everything. So definitely check out our website. All the links are at the bottom. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for having us on, by the way. This has been great.
Absolutely, man. And we're going to make sure to drop all of those links in the show notes. Of course, for everyone that's listening, you can always go watch this on YouTube as well. And I'm sure that we're potentially going to have some more collaborations with Aurox in the future. So be on the lookout for that. But as always, for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.